Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or a duty unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnahfollowers, streaming every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnahfollowers.
Assalamu alaikum. Join us for the new series here at Sunnahfollowers on the book called Termites by Sheikh Muhammad S. Adley, hosted and broken down by lailanasheeba. Please join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, right here on Sunnahfollowers.
Ina alhamdulillah wa salam Allah wa rasulullah. Welcome everybody to our Hadith class. And I know I was late today. I'm sorry for being late with the class, but I was dealing with other things on the website, trying to keep it together here. So sometimes I have to end up, rolling up in here a little late. But I want to thank everybody for waiting and for being patient with me and all that. I didn't forget you guys. I never will forget you. I might be late, but I'll be there, inshallah, unless I fell asleep. Y'all know when I don't show up, it's because, Layla had fallen asleep and she, the body has rights over us and, nothing I can do when that happens. It's going to take its share on me. And while I'm sitting here, let me try a color right quick. I'm sorry, I'm a girl. I'm just a girl in the world. I'm sorry. I gotta try a color. A color just popped up on my screen. Let me try this right quick, see what it looks like on this background. Wow, check it out, you guys. I'm just a girl in the world. They just won't let me be. There you go. So that looks good. I got to put that at the top too. All right. So this is our Hadith class, alhamdulillah. And for this class, we are studying from the book. In fact, let me put that caption up here. One of the sisters wants to know all the books. Wasn't that the question that was asked yesterday too? The books that she needs to order. Here, this one here. Go to www.adleyonline.com. The books you need to order are Termites, Not One of Us, and the Articles of Belief. Those are the 3 Hadith books that we are using for my class. Unfortunately, my students can't ever remember any of those hadiths, and I don't know why. I'm still disappointed. Every time I ask for dalil, you would think that with all the classes we have here, that these hadiths and they're vicious, because I repeat the same hadiths over and over again. You think that, but it doesn't. But those are the 3 books. You go to www.adleyonline.com, Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Adley's website, and you want to order the book Termites, the book Not One of Us, and Articles of Belief. Those are the 3 that we're using for the Hadith classes. Okay, and tonight we'll be studying from the book Termites. And tonight we'll be going over Hadith number 24. And let me put the PowerPoint up here on the screen so every review. Yes, Hadith number 24, sister. Yeah, she wants to turn to it in her book. Yeah, that's the 24. This is the book Termites. Okay, let me set it up while you get your books. Yeah, 24. Okay, I'm trying to take this down. Okay, wait a minute, it went back up. All right, let me make this large, big screen for you guys. Oh, look at my little bitty screen here. That's my little Zoom room. So I can see my little fireplace right there. Y'all like that fireplace? Isn't it nice? See the incense burning on the side, and I got my TV up and over there, and place to chill, relax, think about the day's events. Okay, let me share first with the people on my Zoom room. Hold on. And by the way, I'm sorry. She said I didn't okay, here it is. For those of you on Instagram, you should see it now. Thank you for reminding me. Y'all have to remind me to make sure I go live on Instagram. I always set it up, but I forget to push the button to go live. So for those of you who use Instagram, inshallah, it's live now. So if you join Instagram now, you'll be able to see yours truly, lailanasheeba, live. Okay. And now let me share this to Zoom. Oh, really? Okay, to join the Zoom room, one of the brothers is asking, how can he join the Zoom room? To join the Zoom room, wait, let me set the PowerPoint up. You go to www.sunnahfollowers.net and then click on Zoom room, and that'll bring you into the Zoom room. If you would like to join the Zoom room, because it's available. Okay, and now let me share to you guys here. Yeah, the Zoom is open 24 hours too. We're always there, inshallah. And this is the hadith for tonight. Let me make it big screen. Oh, I put the wrong book. This is Termites, not one of us. This is the book Termites, but I got the wrong book here. But tonight we'll be doing hadith number 24, which speaks about being respectable to parents. The same hadith that I went over with the children, and I bet you they remember it. This hadith was narrated by Abdullah. He said, the Prophet ﷺ said, there are three groups of people whom Allah will not look at on the day of judgment. And whenever you read a hadith and the Prophet ﷺ says Allah will not look at, that means that these people will be dragged by their faces and simply thrown into the hellfire. And guess what? They'll remain in hell. They'll remain in hell because what they did was so bad. What they did was so hateful in the sight of Allah that Allah doesn't want to look at them. He doesn't want to talk to them. He's going to simply tell the angels, take that person there, grab him and drag him by his face and throw him in hell. And one of those groups of people is a person who was disrespectful to his parents. Remember, I tell you guys, there are certain sins that are sins of disbelief. Remember, I told you guys that? There are some sins that fall in the category of disbelief. Well, a person who is disrespectful and abusive to their parents, this is an unforgivable sin. Remember, the kinship is under the throne of Allah. And on the day of judgment, when we go to walk across the Sirat bridge, the Prophet Muhammad will be in front of us, waiting on the other side. And on his right will be the kinship. And the kinship is going to watch every person walk across that bridge. And for the person that broke the ties of kinship, he's going to yell out at that person. And that person is going to fall into the hellfire. And on the Prophet will be truthfulness. Those people who were dishonest, truthfulness will call them, and they will be tossed over off that bridge. Those people who were disrespectful and undutiful to their parents, The kinship will be so angry that Allah will not even look at you. He'll just have you dragged by your face and thrown into the hellfire. Also, the second category of people who will not be looked at on the judgment, but will be dragged by their faces and thrown in hell is a mannish woman. What's a mannish woman? These are women who emulate men. You know, LGBTQ. You know, y'all got an even better name for them today. Y'all call them feminists. The feminist woman. The feminist woman who is anti being a woman. She's against womanhood. She's against femininity. Instead, she wants to be a man. She wants to work, do the type of job that a man does. She wants to be the provider. She wants to be the maintainer. She wants to be the protector of the family. She wants to have the same rights as a man to go rodeo, to ride horses and cows and buck up in the air. She wants to dress like men. She wants to look like men. She wants to walk with the swag of a man. She wants to talk like a man. What's up, babe? Do fries go with that shake? Who has lost her whole identity of being a female and instead is a mannish woman. She'll even go so far, some of them, to wear beards, to let their facial hair grow into a beard, grow and curl into a mustache. Well, Allah hates women who emulate men. He hates women who do this so bad that this is another sin of disbelief. He hates it so bad that he will not talk to you. He will not look at you. He will simply tell the angels, grab that mannish woman over there, drag her by her bearded face and throw her in the hellfire and leave her there. So you talk about feminism. I'm talking about feminists, being a feminist. You want to be a feminist instead of being feminine, then guess what, sisters? That's going to be your fate, because you were not created to be a man. You were created to be a woman. You have different responsibilities. It's not your job to be the provider, the maintainer, the protector. It's your husband's job. It's not your job to go out and get and be like a man working in the street with a tractor and all of that stuff. It's not your job to have a beard and wear turbans and walk around with a pimp walk, a pimp swag. You know, you sisters who have traded your femininity for feminism, this will be your fate. And then the third group of people who Allah will not look at, but will tell the angels to grab him and drag him by his face and throw him in hell, is the man who didn't care about the indecency of his family. In other words, a man who was a pimp. He prostituted his wife. He prostituted his daughters. He prostituted his sisters. He prostituted his aunts. He prostituted his sister-in-law, even prostituted his grandmother. For those of you who don't know, this is how it was in the 6th, 7th, 8th century. Before Islam came about, women didn't have any rights. A woman was of no value. She was just a piece of meat to be pimped, to be prostituted. Okay? They would kill their girl babies. They will allow some of them to live so they could keep the procreation going. But if the girl grew up to be beautiful, she would be prostituted. If the girl was ugly and of no purpose, she would be made into a slave. And if she couldn't even be a good slave, they just kill her. Back in those days, women were prostituted. Men would prostitute their sisters, their mothers even. Allah hates this. This is a sin of disbelief that is so atrocious in the sight of Allah that he's going to just tell the angels to grab that man, drag him by his face, and throw him in hell. And why does Allah have these people thrown into hell and dragged by their faces? Because the face is considered the most noblest part of the human body. And to show the anger of Allah, Allah is going to have that person's face dragged to show just how horrific the crime was. So these people will never enter paradise, guys. I tell you all the time, Allah forgives all sins except for shirk. And what does shirk mean? Shirk does not just mean associating partners. Shirk means disbelief. Allah forgives all sins except disbelief. And there are some sins that fall in the category of disbelief because they're so atrocious. You know it's haram, but you do it anyway. You know it's haram to prostitute your daughters. You know it's haram to prostitute your sisters, but you do it anyway. Well, that means you don't believe in Allah. You've taken the life of this world, your money, over Allah. You violated the ties of kinship. You broke the kinship. You broke the kinship for the life of this world, for the money, the glitter, the glamour. Well, guess what? You can pray all you want to. You can claim that you believe in Allah all you want to. In reality, you ain't nothing but a kafir, because this is one of the most horrific sins. And you knew Allah was angry about it. You knew Allah said he hated it. You knew Allah said that if you did it, there was no coming back from it. So that's a sin of disbelief. You knew that Allah placed importance on being respectable to our parents. You knew it was haram to abuse them, to treat them like dirt, but you did it anyway. Well, you can say you believe in Allah, but you didn't. You really were just a hypocrite. A hypocrite. You went through the motions of believing in Allah, but in reality, you didn't. You violated one of the 10 commandments. And also, the prophet said other people who will never enter paradise are those people who die addicted to intoxicants. The alcoholic, the drug addict. How many Muslims do you know overdosed off of drugs? Well, I be in it. That's a sin of disbelief. They knew it was haram, but they died addicted to a drug to the point where they overdosed off of it. They died addicted to alcohol, knowing that Allah said it's haram. These people are kafir. That's a sin of disbelief. You knew it was bad, but you did it anyway. You chose your desires over Allah. And also a person that goes around reminding people of the favors they've done. Oh my goodness. There's so many hadiths where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam speaks against people who would throw up, you go around throwing up in other people's faces the good things you did for them. Nobody likes to ask for help. And then when you help them, you throw it up in their face every chance you get. That's a sin of disbelief too. So I tell you guys, there's many different sins that you can die upon that are sins of disbelief. You know these things are bad. You know these things are atrocious, but you do them anyway. That shows that your belief in Allah was weak or non-existent. You took your desires. You took your love for money. The pimp took his love for money over honoring the tie of kinship, over honoring Allah. So he's a kafir. The person that treats their parents wrong, he took his emotions as his God. The person that died addicted to drugs or alcohol, you took your intoxicant over Allah. These are horrific sins, guys. May Allah save us from these sins. Make sure you sit down and talk about these sins with your children. Okay? So, it's very important to understand that the parents being disbelievers does not give any reason for the child to be disobedient to them either. As long as your parents are not commanding you to do something that goes against what Allah says. As Allah says in the Quran, in the interpretation of the meaning, indeed your Lord has decreed that you worship no one other than him, and that you be good to your parents. And if they struggle against you to associate a partner with me, then don't obey them, but keep with them in good company in this world. So here we can see, even if the parents are not Muslim, we still have to be good to them. And even if your sisters and brothers are not Muslim, you can't prostitute them either. We have the hadith that you've heard me mention numerous times, where Asma, the sister of Aisha, the daughter of Abu Bakr, she asked the Prophet, she said, my mother came seeking my help, but she's not a Muslim. Should I help her? The Prophet said, yes, be good to your mother. So again, these are wonderful hadiths. This is a wonderful hadith that we need to really ponder and implement with ourselves in this world, guys. You know, there are so many sins that we need to steer ourselves away from. Like I said, disbelief is not just limited to worshiping a statue. There's other actions that we can indulge in or we can engage in that put us in the category of disbelieving in Allah, such as these actions here. I really hope that brother, the one that we have to mute because he's always running his mouth instead of listening, I really hope that brother HK hears this session, because he's the one of the many Muslims who doesn't understand that there are different sins that fall in the category of disbelief. And shirk is an Arabic word, not an English word. And Arabic words can have 300 different meanings. Shirk is not just worshiping an idol. Shirk means disbelief in Allah. All right, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.